Yo, what's up guys, Max here, helping you guys level up your game. And in today's video we're going to be looking into how you guys can get more high kill games and wins in Fortnite. This video is mainly going to be focused on helping controller and console players. However, if you do play Fortnite with a keyboard and mouse on PC, or if you play Fortnite on any other platform, this video will still help you. If you guys watch until the very end of the video, you're more likely to get the most out of the tips I'm gonna give you, and you'll also find out the best way to get high kill games easier. However, if you decide to click off this video, you will probably struggle with getting high kill games and get extremely frustrated with Fortnite. I mean, the choice is yours. But anyways guys, without any further ado, let's jump straight into this video. So the first and most important tip in my opinion that I'm actually going to cover in today's video is your drop. And your drop is pretty important. It's basically the key to getting high kill games. As you know, if you start out a game with maybe 6+ kills, that is a pretty amazing start, considering, you know, there's still going to be a decent amount of people left, which, you know, gives you more room for opportunity to actually, you know, win with at least 16 to 20 kills, which is, you know, with what I would consider a high kill game. So make sure you guys do pick a suitable drop. So, you know, if the bus route is heading from, you know, Pleasant to Paradise, you obviously want to land at Pleasant and then maybe rotate through the Loot Lake Rift once you're done killing everybody there. Or maybe if the bus doesn't necessarily go over a town and it kind of splits off at two locations, such as, you know, Moisty Palms or Fatal Fields, and you're kind of unsure on where you are, like, you know, going to go, maybe try out Salty Springs or Tilted Town. Those two are pretty solid in terms of, you know, the amount of people that actually lands there. And not only that, but both locations are quite central in the map, so, you know, you have a pretty good rotation compared to everybody else, and that will just let you get the jump on everyone and, you know, give you a better mid-game experience. And that brings me on to the next point, which is the mid-game. And the mid-game is usually, you know, the most dry kind of state of a game, because, you know, most of the time you're just running around trying to find people, and you don't necessarily find a lot sometimes, and that's why it's kind of the stagnating point for a lot of people, where, you know, like, they slay out in the early game and then they can't find anyone in the mid game. And what you gotta do to actually, you know, start getting more kills in the mid game is kind of think of where people would rotate to and kind of learn those rotations. So if you were to land in Pleasant, you would have to, you know, go to Loot Lake, check if there's people there, and then take the rift, look over Tilted, and then go into Salty and Dusty and whatnot, and you get the point. You basically have to think really hard where, you know, people could possibly be. And a good way to actually, you know, remember where the bus actually started, and, you know, like, remember the whole bus route, you could mark where the bus started, and I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be that hard to figure out where it ended. So, you know, you guys might want to try this out. I'm pretty sure Cypher PK did that way back in the day, during Fortnite Friday and whatnot, and I think people still might do it. I'm not really sure. And I've just kind of listened back on the recording so far, and I've kind of figured that I got it wrong. It's better to put the marker at the end of the bus route, because, you know, it's just going to make it easier. So sorry for getting that wrong. But anyways, let's actually get into what you guys should be doing in the mid game, instead of, you know, just staying in one place. And obviously most of you are going to be running around. However, you're not going to, like, be as efficient as you should be when you are, you know, actually going for high kill games, because I know a lot of people, you know, like to loot in the mid game and whatnot. Like, maybe they don't have the best loadout. However, that's not your best bet to, you know, get a high kill game, because it's not gonna get you kills, it's just gonna get you killed. Okay, that's just insanely, that's bars, I'm sorry. But anyways, what you gotta do is just run around, not aimlessly, but you gotta find the set rotation from the town you actually landed in to get a decent amount of kills. As I was saying earlier, you could maybe rotate from Salty to Dusty and then into the Loot Lake Rift and whatnot. That's a pretty good example. I like doing that myself. I'm not sure on Moisty Palms anymore. Paradise used to be an absolute god spot, but now I don't think it is after the prop hunt change. So maybe try not land there. That's all I'm saying for now. A problem in the current season is that there's just literally not enough mobility. And at the time of recording this, I am actually, playing season 10 Fortnite, obviously. And all that we really have right now is shockwaves, driftboards, and the rift in the middle of Loot Lake, and that's just simply not enough in my opinion. There should definitely be another source of mobility in the game, and the games do kind of play out a little more slowly now, I guess, and that's what Epic was probably going for, because unhealthy aggression is apparently bad somehow, but this is the most fast-paced battle royale game ever, so I don't know what they're going for. But anyways, that's besides the point. What you should be doing is, when you do actually come across drift boards, you need to learn how to use them, and you need to just absolutely grab them every single game if you want to maximize the amount of kills you can get, and limit the amount of time you're going to be wasting actually getting to the people. Another key thing you absolutely have to do when you're going for high kill games is end fights quickly, because there's only so much time a game can actually last, and if you do actually waste a lot of time trying to eliminate a player, you will just lose the opportunity to get more kills, first of all, and secondly, others will just get eliminated. And as the time in your game goes on, you'll just find that you won't even be able to get more than 12 kills, which is, pretty disappointing. And so just try and, end fights quickly. And how you do that is basically you hit your shots, first of all. Absolute necessity. If you do want to end fights quickly, you need to, first of all, be able to hit all your AR shots, and then, be effective with your rushing and stuff. And just not give your opponent a chance to breathe, and that will just get you a lot of easy kills. And especially in the mid game, that's a time when people just love to try and run away from you and disengage once you hit them for a decent amount with your AR, and that's when you gotta actually end fights quicker, because otherwise a lot of people will just die in the mid game. That's the place where I think a lot of third parties actually take place, along with the end game, obviously. And the good weapon to actually end fights quickly is the grenade launcher. Absolutely love that thing. Of course you won't get that every single game, but a thing you will get pretty much nearly every single game quite often is a sniper, and those are pretty good for obviously one-shotting people if you get them with a headshot, and even with a body shot that still takes up a decent chunk of damage off of your opponent. So I recommend you guys carry that if you don't really have a fifth slot that you use consistently. And finally, let's get into the end game section of the video, and I reckon this is the place where people mostly struggle, if not the mid game, because this actually involves maybe a build fight most of the time. However, I try to cut down on that. I just keep height whenever I can, and if I lose it, I'll just stay at the bottom, and that's really important that you know that, so that you obviously don't waste all your mats, because build fights can be very tedious in the end game, especially when it is a 1v1 and the opponent you are actually facing is at least half decent at the game. I find it quite hard to win build fights actually. I'm not the worst at them, however I'm not any phase sway type of controller player. I play on a relatively low sense, but that's once again besides the point. What I suggest you guys do is just maximize like your chance of winning by not over peaking, because people just love to do that in the end game for some reason. And secondly, try and not challenge bloom fights, and what that is pretty much 50-50 AR spray challenges. Most of the time you'll end up dead, and also try not to challenge 50-50 shotgun fights, and what that is pretty much just taking shots without building or editing like back after you do shoot your opponent. And it's actually very important that you guys do that, because you can get hit for a large amount of damage, and then you'll have to heal up, and it's nearly impossible to heal up in the end game, because you know, if your opponent is half decent at the game or better, obviously they won't let you do that, and they'll just carry on pressuring you. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. I really hope this has helped, and if it has, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications on to never miss another upload. Once again, just a quick reminder that you guys can use my code MaxGamer7, and maybe send me a picture of you using it on my Instagram at max.gamer7. It will be in my banner somewhere if you are actually on PC right now, or it will be in my about section of the channel, and I'll give you a shout out on my Instagram if you do actually send me a video or a photo of you guys using my code. And yeah, anyways, on that note, I'm out guys, peace.